Hello everyone. So today I am remaking a video of ptosis. You might be remembering that recently I posted a video on ptosis and how to clinically diagnose what is the probable cause of the ptosis. But in that video I apologized because my sound system was not good and probably many students might have not got it clearly because the sound there was not good. So luckily we again had a patient of left-sided ptosis. This patient is from MP and she presented to me with history of ptosis since few days and loss of vision of left eye. So clinically there are few points that we can check on our day-to-day life in our OPD to clinically make a diagnosis whether this ptosis is because of any metabolic cause which is very commonly associated with diabetes, or is it because of any other space occupying lesion in the brain that is causing abnormality of the third cranial nerve. So before I start, I would just like to highlight that the third cranial nerve is such a nerve which not only takes part in the light reflex, but it also has a lots of role in extraocular muscles including the eyelid muscles, because when the third nerve becomes paralyzed, the upper eyelid falls down, which we know called as ptosis. The thing to remember here is when we talk about the third cranial nerve, it should be taken note of that the third cranial nerve has all its parasympathetic fibers on the periphery. So parasympathetic fibers in the eyes is associated with shrinking of the pupil, and sympathetic stimulation will cause dilatation of the pupil. So whenever there is any metabolic cause, I mean when, for example, in diabetes the whole of the nerve is going to be affected, so in that case usually you will get a normal light reflex. But suppose this is the third cranial nerve with all its parasympathetic fibers winding on the outer surface, there comes an aneurysm or a space occupying lesion that is pressing on the parasympathetic nerves first. So what happens? The third cranial nerve not only get paralyzed, but the parasympathetic nerves are the first one that are affected because of this pressure. And because the parasympathetic nerve is associated with shrinking of the pupil, here the pupil will remain dilated if the ptosis is because of any space occupying lesion pressing on the parasympathetic nerves. So in that case light reflex will be absent, plus the pupils will be dilated because here first the parasympathetic nerve will be affected. So let us check what this patient has. माँ जी आपकी थोड़ी जांच करेंगे, आप खाली आराम से बैठे रहिए. Can I have the torch? So if you look at this patient, आप यहाँ देखिए कैमरा में, this patient presented to me with left-sided ptosis and loss of vision. The right side eye is normal as we can see. Now I am going to show you what is the light reflex in this patient, which will give us a big hint whether this is because of a metabolic cause or because of a pressure symptoms. I will come to that side. So as I said, if there is a metabolic cause of ptosis, the pupillary reflex will be normal. If there is a pressure symptom from the upper part to the third cranial nerve, the parasympathetic nerve will be paralyzed along with the third cranial nerve, and the pupils will be dilated and the light reflex will be absent. So let us check on this patient. So if I come laterally and put light on this eye, see the pupils are dilated, the pupil left sided is dilated and it is not reacting to light. I hope it is very clear on the picture. If you can come closer, the pupil is dilated and it is not reacting to light. कैमरा में देखिए, the pupil is not reacting to light. On the contrary, on the other side if we see, माँ जी आँख खुला रखिए, आँख खुला रखिए. See here the pupil is normal and it is very well reacting to light. So one more time I would like to show you the left pupil. It is dilated and it is not reacting to light. So from this it becomes very clear clinically that there might be something that is pressing on the third cranial nerve leading to this ptosis and dilated pupil on the left side. When we investigated this patient, the MRI of the orbit along with the brain showed an aneurysm on the right ICA bifurcation which is pressing on the optic chiasma and the third cranial nerve. So it becomes very easy if your clinical concepts are very clear, because with this only two things, whether the pupil is reacting or not, whether that the pupil is dilated. So with these two things you can crudely classify the patient into metabolic ptosis or a space occupying lesion causing ptosis. So I hope this lecture in comparison to the earlier one would be more useful, because now you can hear me clearly. Thank you.